feel when you're totally not pressed? The feel when we control your bodies? Hey, we control your bodies. Guess what? Guys win again, okay? Men win again. And yes, we control your bodies. Hi, I'm your Republican congressman. Hi, I'm your Republican congressman. It's your body, my choice. And men, women again. Men win again. There will never, ever be a female president. Never. There will never be a female president, ever. It's over. Glass ceiling. Dude, it's a ceiling made of bricks. You will never break it. Your stupid face keeps hitting the brick ceiling. We will keep you down forever. You will never control your own bodies. You will never be the president of the global empire. Never gonna happen, sweetie. Your body, our choice.
That trolling video of Trump supporter Nick Fuentes, who was originally energized by Trump's blatant racism back in 2015, is making the rounds as social media users share it to illustrate why some of Maga is celebrating his retaking of the White House. They're pointing out that this is the energy that was lurking behind the campaign that received tons of support from women. But I'd argue it was never lurking or hidden.
Because for 54 years, they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it. And I'm proud to have done it. So who's going to get that done but me? Yeah. And we did it. Many people have asked me what my position is on abortion and abortion rights, especially since I was proudly the person responsible for the ending of something that all legal scholars, both sides, wanted and, in fact, demanded be ended. Roe v. Wade. You will be protected, and I will be your protector. Women will be happy, healthy, confident, and free. You will no longer be thinking about abortion. So all they talk about abortion because we've done something that nobody else could have done. It is now where it always had to be, with the states.
But not enough people believed or cared when the former, now president-elect, illustrated how little he cared about the people his abortion ban harmed. He had a parade of kiss asses that all dressed up in the same red tie to defend him outside of his criminal trials, vying to be his running mate. But he chose the one that had some of the most anti-woman and anti-choice comments on video to make sure everyone knew how much they hated women.
Do you think it will be resolved nationally? That's Adrian's. He was very serious about it. He was like, it's going to be resolved nationally. And I was like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly would like abortion to be legal nationally.
All these suburban women, all they care about is abortion, and they don't understand that decision is with the states now. It's not banned nationally, even if some people want it to be banned nationally. It's with the states. What do you say to suburban women out there who are marinating in this propaganda?
Well, first of all, I don't buy that, Laura. I think most suburban women care about the normal things that most Americans care about. When you go to the polls in this country as a parent, you should have more power. You should have more of an ability to speak your voice in our democratic republic than people who don't have kids. Let's face the consequences and the reality. If you don't have as much of an investment in the future of this country, maybe you shouldn't get nearly the same voice. Now, people will say, and I'm sure the Atlantic and the Washington Post and all the usual suspects will criticize me about this in the coming days. Well, doesn't this mean that non-parents don't have as much of a voice as parents? Doesn't this mean that parents get a bigger say in how our democracy functions? Yes, absolutely.
While they preach their supposed Christian belief system and commitment to life, they never acknowledge the countless stories of women and girls that have been negatively affected by their stances against them.
Her doctor told her,
"You're 100% for sure going to lose your baby." We just kept asking, isn't there anything we can do? Isn't there anything we can do? And the answer was no.
Her doctor said because of anti-abortion laws in Texas, they couldn't terminate the pregnancy, even though Amanda was at a high risk for developing a life-threatening infection. A few days later, Amanda did develop an infection.
I was shaking, my teeth were chattering. I was trying to tell Josh that I didn't feel good.
Very quickly, she went downhill very, very fast. She was in a state I've never seen her in.
There's a lot of commotion. And I said, what's going on? And they said, we're moving you to the ICU. And I said, why? And they said, you're developing symptoms of sepsis.
That was when I was really scared I was going to lose her. Amanda almost died. That's not pro-life. Amanda will have challenges in the future, having more kids. That's not pro-life.
Nothing about it feels pro-life.
She was having complications. And
tonight we are learning more about the death of Amber Thurman.
The death of Amber Thurman was likely preventable if she'd had access to abortion care in her home state of Georgia.
What happened to her was preventable.
I was raped by my stepfather after years of sexual abuse. At age 12, I took my first pregnancy test, and it was positive. That was the first time I was ever told, you have options. I can't imagine not having a choice. But today, that's the reality for many women and girls across the country because of Donald Trump's abortion bans. He calls it a beautiful thing. What is so beautiful about a child having to carry her parents' child?
Before, Nick Fuentes was hoping to rile up anger in the minority of Americans that voted in favor of protecting women from controlling state legislators headed up by men that don't have the ability to get pregnant. Voters were explicitly told that Trump's proud overturning of Roe has resulted in deaths.
A new analysis of CDC data from the Gender Equity Policy Institute, exclusive to NBC News, reveals Texas saw a 56% rise in maternal mortality between 2019 and 2022. That's compared to an 11% uptick nationwide. Every demographic went up, but the biggest increase was among white women, up 95%. Texas passed a near total abortion ban back in 2021. 13 other states followed suit after the Dobbs decision.
Yeah, we had the information. We witnessed the stories and observed the deaths that came with one of Trump's proudest achievements. It may be why he hatched and incessantly repeated fantasies that flipped reality on its head.
When you compare my position on abortion to that of Kamala Harris, my position is actually just polled 8 points higher. And that's because she's a radical. She's an absolute radical on abortion. In the 8th and 9th month of pregnancy, think of that. And right up until birth and even after birth.
Despite everything we saw, millions of us ignored our eyes and relied on some level of hatred or indifference to help elect the candidate that promised superiority, hate, division, and violence. It was so stark that the self-described racist, now celebrating your body, my choice, the guy that held a private lunch with the now president-elect, he can't even believe that America agrees with him.
It is true that whether there were some agitators or none, and I think there were some, his real supporters did breach the Capitol. They did break the windows. They did enter. They did beat cops. Okay, that happened. And it was after that Trump got elected in he won the popular vote in a landslide after that. And I was talking to people last night. I said, here you have the liberal media, which is going to the people and not actually in an incorrect way. They're not wrong. The liberal media said for 4 years, he never conceded defeat. His followers laid siege to the Capitol building. He tried to overthrow the government. And the whole country responded by saying, yeah, but that was 3 years ago. But then he got indicted by the DOJ, indicted by the jurisdiction in Fulton County in Manhattan. Over other things, he was involved in a huge rape case, which he actually lost. And so the American people not only went out and voted for a criminal felon, someone who never conceded defeat in the election, someone whose supporters were marauding through the Capitol, fighting police, but he won the popular vote for the first time in 20 years. And it's wonderful, and I love it. And it really signals that politics is different now.